In this video, I'm going to be talking about the modular and smart mode. And these two modes are synchronized with each other, and when working with these two modes, you have to follow the document grid. Unlike the quick mode, which can break the document grid and you can set up your own grid within the type area. Okay, so let's dive right into the modular mode. As you can see here, we have different fields here. We have the document width. You can enter whatever value that you want here in your selected unit. You have modules and you have subdivisions. Now modules is sort of like the first dividing of the document. If I enter 8 modules here, you can see what the width of each module is here below it, and the same for subdivision. Now this is something that I believe that most designers are not going to be using unless you're going to work with classic typography, or if you just want to be able to get some kind of overview on your grid. Now let me show you what I mean. I could further divide this into subdivisions, but as you clearly can see, the thicker lines are the actual modules. Now, since InDesign has certain restrictions, it is actually smarter to work with the modules and leave the subdivisions to 1. I'm going to continue to grid width here. If I would like to set my grid width to a specific value or something as close as possible to that, for example 2.5 millimeters, I'm going to enter that and press calculate. This is going to divide the document the number of times required to achieve this value. In this case, it was 84 times. So let's continue with the document height. Let's say that you would like to divide your vertical grid into leading. I mean, something in points. What you can do is change your unit to points and pixels. Come down here to grid height. And you can enter, for example, 12 here and press calculate. This is going to calculate it, give you a value of 70 modules vertically and is as close as possible to 12 point. I can then go back to millimeters here and that's it. Now, if I show the baselines, we can see that they align on every line on the subdivision vertically. I'm going to hide these. Now what I can do is, if I would like my leading to be on every second or third subdivision, what I can do is I can just come down to this leading field here. If I press the up arrow, it is going to give me a message here saying that it disables the synchronization with the height section in smart mode. But as you can see, we have the leading on every 2 subdivisions. I'm going to go back to 1 here. So that's basically it. If you want to change your proportion, you can enter that here. Let's say I would like to have the golden section here. I can enter 1.618, and then I'm just going to press enter. Now what this is going to do is it is going to edit the width of the document, because this is what I have selected here. So if I press enter here and you take a look at document width, as you can see, it changed here. But let's go back to the size of A4. Then I'm going to jump to the smart mode. Here I actually have 2 options. I could either enter the number of columns that I would like, or my desired margins for the inside and the outside. I'm going to show you this first. So if I enter 12 columns, then I'm going to set my column width here, and I'm going to apply gutter. So once I've done that and I'm happy with it, I can actually move the type area around, and all these margins and columns and everything will stay intact. So as you can see, I am moving it around here. So let's undo this and let me show you how it works with the desired margins. If I enter 20 millimeters here, it is going to apply 20 because that value fit exactly. But if I select, let's see here, 12, yeah, as you can see, the closest value was 12.5 millimeters. So what you do is you enter your desired margin and then it finds the closest applicable value. Here I can apply my columns. I can browse here. If I hold down the shift key, I can clear all my settings here. And I can also apply secondary columns. If I want, I could, if, for example, let's say that I would like to have 6 columns and then 3 columns for my secondary columns. I could just enter 3 here and it filters all these results for me. And I can just browse between these. So let's jump to the rows section here. I'm going to enter 8 rows. I'm going to edit the row height. Now, as you can see, all these columns are maintained, and so are the margins. I'm going to add some gutter here, and let's zoom out. So that's how modular and smart mode works.